Welcome back to another episode of School Airway. There was a lesson learned in this past month, July, in our cadaver lab with my students that two residents who had never done a surgical airway unintentionally made their first tracheostomies, at least the opening for tracheostomies. And how did that happen? The skin was very thin on these very friable patients who were cadavers now. And when they cut, they did what I taught them, a vertical cut incision. The tissue is so weak and decrepit, it cut right through part of the cricoid membrane and the thyroid membrane, to a point that they saw a hole, they opened it. When they looked carefully and they actually committed possibly to a horizontal cut, it was almost like a cross that they had formed. No one mentions this in tracheostomy labs or lectures. But I do think that there's a possibility that when you do that vertical cut on thinner patients, and some of the patients are so thin that you probably just do a horizontal cut. No one talks about that accidental tracheostomy that's been made. And guess what? When you cut the air, you're going to put that 6.0 ET tube or size 4 Shiley or whatever thing that fits down there, hopefully with the assistance of a bougie. Do not apologize for saving a patient's life. Does that make sense? So most of us are taught to do a vertical cut. That's how I teach. You go on the right side, left side, doesn't matter. Hold the laryngeal box. And then you commit. Blunt dissection, make the hole bigger. But guess what? If you do a vertical cut and you cut through, you probably will not notice that you made a tracheostomy. You're gonna feel blunt. You're gonna feel the orifice bluntly dissect. And if you listen to what I taught you, commit to a horizontal cut. And then on doing the horizontal cut, you may notice, wow, why is this cross formed? Guess what? Proceed, proceed, proceed. Okay? Use that damn bougie. Proceed, proceed, proceed. Cannulate. Proceed, proceed, proceed. Couple centimeters past the entrance of the orifice that you just created. That pseudo cricothyrotomy tracheostomy orifice that you created. And bag. The patient will not complain to you that you created a cricotracheostomy. But I suspect out there, the people who do this accidentally do cause a tracheostomy orifice to be created, not the intention, not what is intended, but by accident create the vertical cut deeply enough that you actually cut into the cricoid membrane. The cage is not intact, and when you make the cross, finish off that vertical cut with a horizontal cut and make a cross, you've just opened the excision wider enough that the 6.0 ET tube with a size 4 Shiley tracheostomy will fit. Do you understand my point? If you look what you're doing, you may accidentally make an orifice in a different manner than which was intended. But if you're cutting air and you're trying to save a life, do not apologize. Save the life, secure it, and take care of the patient. Please come back to the School of Airway. Bye-bye.